This is Jill Lessard. I'm sitting here in the campaign headquarters of Jane Byrne for mayor, and I'd like to ask her a few questions. First off, when and how did you become interested in politics?
Jill, I started back in 1960 in the campaign of John Kennedy, and I worked here in Chicago in his campaign as a paid staff member. And from that, it just seemed to go on down the line. Through them, I met Mayor Daley, and that's how it all began.
You worked for Daley for how many years?
I worked for 4 years in the anti-poverty program and 9 years as a commissioner.
And when he died, it must have been a great blow to everyone in City Hall.
I think that it was. Mayor Daley created both a father image, I think, to the public and to the government employees. He also was a great leader, in my judgment, and knew how to bring the best out of people. And I think they lost that.
Now, ever since you've decided to run for mayor, and even before that, you have definitely been under a lot of pressures. How do these pressures affect your personal and social life?
Well, I think you watch yourself a little bit more than you would before. I mean, when I'm out speaking at night, I can tell you I look over my shoulder now when I'm driving home in the car. Personal life, it doesn't affect me too much. I assume that it's a battle and that they will do all that they can, and that's the way it's going to be.
And how does your career in politics affect your family and home life?
I must say that up until November of this year, we all had a very nice, quiet home life. You know, sisters, brothers, my husband now, my daughter at college, and things, once the balloon went up, it hasn't been easy for any of them.
They've been supporting you all along, I imagine.
Every single one of them. Every single. I came from a very big family. I have 5 brothers and sisters, and they're all married, and even their little ones are very supportive.
What is your public support like? Is everybody behind you?
Well, it's been a thrill to me. First of all, it's a shock to me that I'd be sitting here saying I'm running for mayor. A year ago, if somebody told me that, you know, I would have laughed at them. And then, too, there's always been that fear of fighting City Hall built in. I mean, I don't care if you're from a small town, you always hear don't fight City Hall. And I don't think that even I would ever have thought fight City Hall. And yet the public really are the people that pushed me into this. It was the support that came from the public after I got fired that made me think, well, somebody wants a change here, or they wouldn't be doing this to me. And I'm going to do it for them if that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it's going to be.
Where do you get your drive and inspiration? Is it from the public?
Well, I'm not that noble to say that it's all from the public. I think that we worked very hard in my department, and it was an excellent department, and there has never been a line of print from the time I took over that department saying one thing bad about the department. And I think when you see a job that's not finished, and then you look at the other departments and know that the same thing's happening there, and you did have a dedication, and you gave up. As far as I'm concerned, I gave 9 years of my life to the city. Granted, I loved it under Mayor Daley, but I knew I was accomplishing, and I knew that the public was also there was service to the public, and politics as well. And to me, to have just all of a sudden a vacuum be created and have what I consider weakness take over and a form of corruption take over, I said to myself, I'm not going to sit back here and take this. You know, I don't care. I am going to go back out. I've been around long enough. I know, and I am going to straighten it out. That's it.
Well, you definitely seem like a real fighter. Do you think that being a woman has its advantages or disadvantages in political life?
As a commissioner, it didn't have any disadvantages at all. In the beginning it did, because, you know, we were so early doing this business here in Chicago. It was back in '68, and you didn't see many women commissioners anywhere. We were 2 years ahead of New York City getting a consumer affairs commissioner. And then it was shyness on the part of the men, not like, you know, what do we do with her? You know, shall we open the door, shall we stand back? But I think after you're there for a while and you're whacking out, you know, violations and going to court and so on and so forth, then I think you get a little bit of jealousy coming along. And then I think you get what all women are going to face as they get into it. Some male chauvinism of people that don't want to have it happen. They don't think a woman can think. They don't think a woman knows what she's doing. They think the scurrilous rumors, you know, such as, oh, is that menopause? Is that all wives' tales? Then you see that coming forward. And so you feel their little knives this way and this way. But I would say the majority of men today, and there has been that change because women have, just as you, are going into the electronics field. Women are on TV every night. Women are anchor women. Women are in law. Lawyers are in the courts, and they're proving themselves. And I think only those that wish to try to make it that a woman can't and wants to believe it so badly that they'd stop at all of these goofy things, I think they're diminishing, and I think acceptance is coming up.
Now, do you find that you have to rise above the old wives' tales and male chauvinism, or do you kind of have to use your wiles and manipulate the men into concurring with you?
A combination of all three things. I think, to be perfectly honest, when I was first a commissioner and I was young, I knew that I had to hold the line, or they'd push me all over the map because it was law enforcement. But I specifically did wear a little hairbow all the time, a little soft little hairbow. And after about 3 years, somebody said to me, "Why don't you finally take the hairbow out? We're wise to your act." You know. So I think it's a combination of. I never wanted to become hard, and a hard woman. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think a woman has to become masculine in order to prove her point. So I would wear the hairbow. And that helped me. You know, I was one of the last people to even say I would wear slacks, you know, because to me that would be like, oh, the commissioner that's cracking the whip and wearing the pants to work. So I tried to stay away from that, even though the minute I got home I'd put them on. But I think you have to be a lady, and I think you have to be well-groomed and skilled in what you're doing. And I think if you're going to administer, you administer. And I don't think you let it go beyond that point. But as far as playing the tricks, yes, I'm sure that men shave in the morning and they will use that blow dryer on their hair and they try to look good to get ahead. So I think it's really no different. They do the same thing, only they just don't say that it's their wiles.
Right. You told me earlier that you were compared to Joan of Arc. Could you elaborate?
I saw that in Byrne. I've been called a lot of things. One time I was also called Little Bo Peep, but yeah, Vernon Jarrett in the Tribune last week, I thought it was humorous, compared me to Joan of Arc and said that I had 500 years to go till they canonized me, and that was very much tongue-in-cheek, but you know, you give and take with that. I enjoyed his column.
Now, what obstacles lie between you and the position of mayor of Chicago?
I believe